From the beginning of time, humanity has been shaped not in the lap of luxury, but in the crucible of struggle. Every leap forward, every evolution of character, and every triumph of the human spirit has come through trials and adversity. We often seek comfort, ease, and certainty, but it is through discomfort, challenge, and uncertainty that real growth happens. Struggle is the furnace that tempers steel, the storm that strengthens roots, and the darkness in which stars become visible. This universal truth applies not just to individuals, but also to societies, nations, and the world at large. And nowhere is this truth more apparent than in the lives of great leaders who endured unimaginable hardships, yet emerged from the fire not only intact but transformed. Consider the life of Nelson Mandela, a man who spent 27 years in prison for his resistance to apartheid in South Africa. During those long years on Robben Island, he endured harsh labor, isolation, and the psychological torment of being cut off from the world. But instead of growing bitter, Mandela used his time to reflect, to educate himself, and to prepare for the role he would one day assume. When he finally walked free, it was not with vengeance in his heart, but with a vision of reconciliation. Mandela understood that his struggle had not broken him, it had built him. His years in prison were not wasted. They were invested in the formation of a leader capable of uniting a divided nation. Similarly, Abraham Lincoln's road to the presidency was riddled with defeat. He failed in business, lost multiple elections, and suffered profound personal losses. He was often mocked, doubted, and written off. But each failure was a lesson, each setback a stepping stone. When the Civil War erupted and the nation threatened to rip itself apart, Lincoln stood firm. He brought with him a deep well of patience, humility, and moral clarity qualities born from a life of hardship. His presidency was one of the most challenging in American history, but it was Lincoln's own inner trials that had prepared him to navigate the nation through its darkest hours. Then there is the story of Malala Yousafzai. Born in a region where girls' education was not just discouraged, but violently opposed, Malala began speaking out at a young age. Her advocacy made her a target, and in 2012, she was shot in the head by a Taliban gunman. The world held its breath, but Malala survived, and she emerged stronger than ever. Her voice became a global symbol for the rights of girls and the power of resilience. She once said, "They thought the bullets would silence us, but they failed." Her struggle, far from silencing her, amplified her message. Through pain, she found purpose. Winston Churchill, too, was no stranger to struggle. Before he became the iconic wartime leader, Churchill faced political exile and repeated failures. He was often ridiculed and dismissed by his peers, but he never gave up. When World War II broke out and Britain stood alone against the Nazi menace, Churchill rose to the occasion. His speeches galvanized a nation. He didn't sugarcoat the struggle. He embraced it. "We shall fight on the beaches," he declared. "We shall never surrender." His words weren't born in a moment of inspiration. They were forged through years of personal and political battles. His resolve, tested by failure, became the backbone of Britain's resistance. Even the story of modern psychology supports what history shows us, that growth often follows trauma. The concept of post-traumatic growth suggests that individuals who endure significant adversity often emerge stronger, more focused, and with a deeper appreciation for life. Pain forces reflection. Struggle forces adaptation. And the result, if one does not give up, is transformation. Let us not forget Mahatma Gandhi, the father of India's non-violent independence movement. His struggles were both internal and external. He faced racial discrimination in South Africa and brutal repression in India. But through hunger strikes, imprisonment, and personal sacrifice, he stayed rooted in his principles. Gandhi taught, the world that true power comes not from force, but from moral conviction. His life was a testament to the strength born from suffering, and his legacy endures because his struggle was grounded in purpose and peace. The same truth applies to everyday people. Not everyone is a Mandela, Lincoln, or Malala, but everyone has battles. Maybe your battlefield is a hospital room, a broken home, or the quiet war inside your mind. Maybe it's financial hardship, emotional loss, or the weight of unmet dreams. These struggles, though personal, are no less powerful in their potential to shape you. Every sleepless night, every hard decision, every quiet act of courage, it all matters. Pain gives us perspective. Loss teaches us what truly matters. Failure provides feedback that success never could. When we face adversity, we discover who we are and what we're made of. The easy path rarely leads to greatness, but the hard path? That's where the gold is mined. Think about the natural world. Muscles grow by tearing and healing. Trees grow stronger in the wind. The butterfly must struggle to break free from the cocoon in order to fly. The same laws apply to us. We grow when we are challenged. We evolve when we are stretched. And we shine brightest after we've endured the darkest nights. Take, for example, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Paralyzed by polio at age 39, many believed his political career was over. Yet he became one of the most influential presidents in U.S. history. Leading America through the Great Depression and World War II, Roosevelt's struggle with physical limitation only strengthened his empathy and resolve. He knew suffering, and that made his leadership compassionate and determined. His fireside chats were not just policy updates. They were emotional lifelines to a nation in pain. We also see this pattern in the life of Helen Keller. Deaf and blind from a very young age, Keller faced a world of silence and darkness. But with the help of her teacher, Anne Sullivan, she learned to communicate, to think, to advocate. She went on to become an author, a political activist, and a lecturer who inspired millions. Her struggles were immense, yet she wrote, "Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it." In more recent times, we've seen the resilience of figures like Oprah Winfrey, who rose from poverty and abuse to become one of the most influential media personalities in the world. Her past did not define her. It refined her. She turned her pain into a platform, her story into strength. Oprah's success is not just measured by wealth or fame, but by how many people she has inspired to believe in themselves, despite their circumstances. So how do we grow through our struggles? It begins with reframing. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" Instead of running from discomfort, lean into it. Let it shape you. Let it reveal what comfort hides. Purpose is another key. When we tie our struggle to a purpose greater than ourselves, we can endure almost anything. Mandela didn't survive for himself. He survived for a nation. Malala didn't fight for her comfort. She fought for a generation. When you suffer for something meaningful, the pain becomes bearable, even beautiful. We must also reflect and integrate. After the struggle, don't rush past it. Look back. What did you learn? How have you changed? Growth doesn't happen automatically. It happens intentionally. Write it down. Share it. Let your scars tell a story of survival, of transformation. And finally, use your story. Someone else is going through what you've been through. Your survival may be their blueprint. Your victory may be their hope. Struggle connects us. It's the one thing every human being understands. So don't hide your wounds. Let them be windows. There's an ancient saying, "Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor." It's true. The storms of life teach us how to steer, how to endure, how to lead. And if we keep going, if we refuse to quit, those storms will not destroy us. They will define us. In closing, I ask you to think of your life as a mountain. The peak is your potential, your highest self. The only way to reach it is to climb. And climbing is hard. It hurts. You'll fall. You'll get tired. But every bruise on your hand is proof that you are rising. Every breathless step is a mark of your courage. When you reach the top worn but unbroken, it won't be despite your struggle. It will be because of it. So rise, climb, endure. Let the fire refine you. Let the struggle shape you. Because growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the storm. It comes from the fire. It comes from the struggle.